हेलो। ओके, आई होप दिस वर्क्स क्योंकि मैंने कभी इतने सेटअप के साथ वीडियो बनाया नहीं है, बट एनी वे दिस इज़ द फर्स्ट यूट्यूब वीडियो आई एम शूटिंग. वेलकम टू माई रूम एंड माई चैनल आई गेस. इफ़ यू क्लिक्ड ऑन दिस वीडियो आई अज्यूम यू नो, बट आई वॉज अ कंटेस्टेंट ऑन कौन बनेगा करोड़पति सीजन 16 एपिसोड 143.
सबसे कम समय रिया चोपड़ा.
मुझे बाद में पता चला दैट 143 इज़ कंसिडर्ड कोड फॉर आई लव यू because that's the number of letters that are there in every word, and I feel like maybe that's a sign. What it's a sign for, I don't know, but it is some sort of sign. Anyway, I'm making this video because my episode aired approximately a week ago. Since it came on TV, I've received a bunch of calls, I've received messages. Congratulations, of course, a lot of it, and people are really happy for me, which is so sweet. But also, a lot of people want to know the process of getting onto the show because KBC is something that's such a pop cultural landmark, and a lot of Indian people have genuine ambitions to want to go there. I can understand the appeal, right? Of course, it's a wonderful opportunity. You also get to make money at an amount that not a lot of people can in just like 1 hour or like a couple of hours. And the appeal of something like that, I've heard the stories of people who go on the show and are able to turn their lives around. So to have an opportunity like that, of course, it's incredible for a lot of people. And I wanted to make this guide so that anyone, if they're thinking of going on the show, or not just this show, maybe like any other show, because I'm also going to talk about my mindset and the kinds of thoughts I have while doing something like this. Maybe this will help you just to go for whatever you want to go for. एक और चीज़ मुझे realize हुई कि कुछ लोगों को misconception है that I was invited onto the show, but I applied just like everyone else. So I feel like I have the same experience of going through all the processes of application as other people did, which is why I wanted to make this once again. I feel like I have the reach for this to actually get out, and if it helps someone, it helps someone. If it doesn't help someone, still thank you for watching. I grew up a very पढ़ाकू kid, ठीक है, फ्रंट बेंचर, टॉप ऑफ क्लास, पढ़ाई में बहुत मज़ा आता था. एंड नेचुरली जब आप ऐसे ग्रो अप करते हो, यू नो, आई थॉट आई वुड स्टार्ट दिस स्टोरी एट द बिगिनिंग, एंड आई लिटरली स्टार्टेड इन माई चाइल्डहुड. मतलब मैं सीधे बिगिनिंग से शुरू करी हूँ. बट वील कम टू लाइक KBC. लेट मी गिव यू सम बैकग्राउंड ऑन मी फर्स्ट. जब आप इतना पढ़ाई वढ़ाई में इंटरेस्ट रखते हो, आपका स्कूल, माई स्कूल एट लीस्ट, pushes you to go for quizzes, you know, Bonvita quiz, CBSE heritage quiz, all of those things. And I did those and I was good at them. And I feel like naturally मुझे एक inclination भी था to want to learn more things, to just pick up random bits of information. So my school also pushed me into this, knowing that I would probably not just be good at it but also enjoy it. And you all want children to enjoy themselves, right? This is something that I carried forward to college. I started quizzing in my second year, which was 2018 to 2019. I was in Lady Shri Ram College for Women at Delhi University. DU has a wonderful, robust quizzing circuit. Not just at college level, but post-college level as well, which is something I've experienced now that I've graduated. There is something called the Delhi Quiz Club, which is a collection of quizzers who live in Delhi. एंड वी कैजुअली क्विज़, मतलब हम संडे को ऐसे जहाँ भी वेन्यू मिल जाए, कोई एक बंदा क्विज़ बना के ले आता है, हम साथ में मस्ती में 0 स्टेक्स की क्विजिंग करते हैं. देयर इज़ नो प्राइज मनी, देयर इज़ लिटरली नथिंग टू विन, देयर इज़ ओनली लव फॉर द गेम. एंड दैट हैज़ ऑल्सो हेल्प मी स्टे इन टच विद quizzing as a discipline, but also picking up knowledge, random bits of trivia. A lot of my exposure comes through quizzing. A lot of it also now comes through reading, through social media, talking to people, being interested in a large variety of things, etc. All of this to say, I have tried to stay in touch with my trivia loving side as much as possible. It's hard to do that in adulthood because in school and college you're encouraged to read more. The older you get, you're pushed into things like a career and like, you know, other things that people expect from you. I feel like I started saying that with one purpose and ended up saying something else, which was also important to say. But coming back, इतना मुझे जब ट्रिविया वगैरह का शौक था बचपन से, you know, you grow up hearing कि अच्छा तुम कौन बनेगा करोड़पति में क्यों नहीं चले जाते. I also heard that. My grandmother used to say that a lot. She's not around anymore, but I feel like she would be so happy to watch me actually do something like this. And a lot of relatives, you know, people in my colony, they were like, you know, jao, there's these children special episodes, you know, go for that. And TV just seemed so far off. Like, TV is this screen in front of you where celebrities and like stars and all these incredible people are. I never even thought to apply. Till date, I don't know what the process of getting on the kids KBC is. I don't know what the process of, you know, actually playing through the app, etc. is. Because the episode I actually ended up going on was a kind of special episode because this year was the 25th anniversary. That is the silver jubilee of Kaun Banega Crorepati. It's been 25 years since this show has began, and that's incredible. Number one, by the way, like, let's take a minute. I am as old as KBC, like literally. That was kind of the point. The makers of KBC wanted to do a bunch of episodes wherein people who are as old as KBC come on the show. All of these people would represent different walks of life. So you have people who are from a STEM background, or someone who's doing arts or filmmaking or writing, or some research sort of thing, or having a startup, entrepreneurship, etc. And we're supposed to represent the different possibilities that exist in young India today. The only special episode thing about this was our age, because otherwise the rest of the game was entirely the same as it is. I first heard of this through quizzing groups, which is why I started this video with quizzing as well. You would know why I was in those groups in the first place. So I'm part of all of these WhatsApp groups wherein you get notifications of, oh, this quiz is happening, and in Delhi this Sunday this quiz will be happening. Sometimes it is not quizzing in colleges. Sometimes you get notifications of stuff like a trivia night happening at a local bar, etc., etc. This time the notification that we got, and I have the dates noted down so that I can give you a proper breakdown of as and when it happened. Middle of January until the 20th of January, on 3 separate quizzing groups that I'm on, we got a notification of Kaun Banega Crorepati doing like this young special episode. And if we were 25 years old at the beginning of this year, we were eligible to apply, 25 or younger. Thankfully, I was 25 at the beginning of this year, so I could apply. But I was a little hesitant in applying because I was like, what if this is a sham? I've seen on TV that you have to play along on the app and that's how you get in. But someone I know, Sanya, if you're watching this video, thank you so much. Sanya reached out to me on personal DM. She's also a quizzer, and she was like, I think you would be such a great fit for it because they're looking for people with personalities, like people who've done, work and who come from diverse walks of life. And you with your writing background and your social media background would make such a great value addition to this show. And I was like, okay, अगर इनको मुझ में faith है, who am I to say कि मुझे खुद में faith नहीं है? So I applied. It was a huge Google form that involved putting down things from our family structure to our education, our college, our career, what we do, our likes and dislikes, strengths and weaknesses, personality, hobbies, achievements, life goals, like things I haven't thought of, that form asked me about. And I filled that in. On the 20th of January, I submitted my Google form. As I would later get to know, there were at least 3 to 4 other people on the exact same Delhi quizzing groups as I was, who also saw the exact same message and decided to apply. And we would all meet during the shooting of the show. So all of us actually happened to get there by the same route, which is this first initial message that came on quizzing groups, and we applied and we made it. 2 of those people are from the same institution as well, because sometimes institutions have internal quizzing groups that also publicize messages like this. I know I'm talking a lot about this message coming on groups because I feel like what I'm trying to say here is that if you're looking for opportunities of a certain kind, or if you have dreams that are of a certain field, you need to put yourself in places where those opportunities might actually find you. Were I not in quizzing groups, I would not have gotten to go on KBC. That's a direct correlation because I would have never got this, application message. If you have hopes or dreams of wanting to do a certain kind of thing, put yourself in environments wherein those chances might actually come to you. This can range from networking events to WhatsApp groups to Facebook groups to hobby clubs to going to the park on a random Sunday because a book club meets and you want to meet literary circle wale people. Like, put yourself out there. You never really know what comes your way, and what came my way this time was a KBC chance. At this point of time, I had just filled in a Google form, so I didn't have any thought about wanting to document the process or even that I would actually make it onto the show. This was just me shooting off a Google form into thin air and hoping something would come out of it. But the steps after this, I realized that this is actually a great journey and a once in a lifetime sort of thing that I should document. So going forward in this video, you're going to see tiny clips of me back when that thing was actually happening, and I shot them afterwards, just wanting to document the process for myself. I don't have a great memory when it comes to life events. मतलब कोई पुराना ट्रिविया जो एक बार क्विज में आया था वो मुझे याद रहेगा, लेकिन मेरी खुद की लाइफ में कुछ महीने पहले जो हुआ था वो मुझे याद नहीं रहता. तो मैं कभी कभी अपने जैसे वीडियोस बना देती हूँ, शूट कर देती हूँ, या आई लीव माई सेल्फ नोट्स और सेंड माई सेल्फ एन ईमेल. दिस वॉज अ डॉक्यूमेंट्री एक्सरसाइज फॉर दैट पर्पज. And I realized that it would be good viewing for other people who want to know the process that I follow to get onto the show, to also watch these videos and maybe just see my feelings and my emotions at that point of time. So you will going forward. I try to put in fact date and timestamps at the end of it. I don't know how to edit videos, but I try to figure that out so that you know exactly when chronologically this thing was happening. So on the 20th of January, as I told you, I had applied via Google form to go on KBC. On the 22nd, I got an email saying that, they had received my Google form and they were putting me through to the first round of, what shall we call it, preliminary processes, which was a GK test. This was an MCQ GK test that was done on the 23rd of January. It was online and it was exactly the kind as you see on the show, which is a question and then 4 options. It was also timed because I feel like they wanted us to submit as quickly as possible. Questions in this round ranged from everything: India centric, international political events, geography, history, sports, etc. etc. It was tough, but it was not extremely tough. On a scale of 0 to 10, I would say it was like a 6 or 7. I also feel the makers of KBC are cognizant of the fact that they want to make a good show that has actual knowledge being discussed, actual trivia, actual facts, actual quizzing that is being done. And they do make sure that people who reach there are at least a base level aware about GK and about the kinds of questions that could come, which is also why, as I would later learn, their application process is insanely thorough. I had my first GK test on the 23rd. I had a personal interview on the 24th. I just got off my personal interview for Kaun Banega Crorepati. I just got off it. Like this, my Zoom exit screen is also here. And I think it went quite well. Like my GK test was yesterday. That was like a test of how much you know. It was a MCQ sort of questionnaire that we did online. And once you cleared that, you had this personality test today. I was more nervous about the GK test because those are, things that you either know or you don't know, and you can score very badly if the questions are just about things that you don't know. But thankfully I cleared it, and then I had this test today. I think the interview went well. Like I had a lovely time chatting to the person who was interviewing me. In fact, they asked me one question, and I think I gave such a long answer to that question that I pretty much answered all their other questions as well, because afterwards they were like, okay, you can go. I enjoyed it. I actually quite like interviews also because it's like I'm getting to talk to someone and we both align in terms of companies that we want to work for, or in terms of interests, or in terms of just wanting to end up at the same place. And it's potentially someone you will work with and meet in the future also. तो मुझे तो interviews वैसे भी पसंद है, तो मुझे तो अभी मज़ा ही आया. But I think it went well. I hope I make it through. I really want to go on KBC. It's one of those things that I used to watch when I was little. And over the last couple of years, being in a very freelancey, creative career, I have made it a point to say yes to as many cool opportunities that come my way as possible. And I think this is me saying yes to reconnecting with a childhood interest. And that's so cool. I also quite personally like the KBC memes, मेरी तरफ मत देखिए, मैं आपकी सहायता नहीं कर पाऊंगा, या क्या कीजिएगा इतनी धनराशि का. So I hope like I make it on the show and I'll get Amitabh Bachchan to like recreate them with me or something. Let's see. They're saying I'll get my results in the next couple of days. I hope I make it through, and I liked it. I'm super excited. I had another GK test on the 25th, then an interview on the 26th, then another GK test and a personal interview. I just had, oh, my light turned off. I just had one of my tests for KBC. It was a GK test and it went really well. I think I got a lot of questions right, which is cool because a few of them were also sports questions, and I am notably not great at sports, but it went quite well. I hope I make it through. This is like the 4th, 5th round of trials and screenings that I've had. I really enjoy interviews because I like talking, but tests sometimes I get a little nervous and my memory is not the greatest when I'm under pressure. But like today I think I got lucky with the questions also. I knew the sports questions, I knew a lot of the other questions as well. I'm excited. I really want to go on KBC. I would say I had 6 to 7 rounds of initial testing, GK, personal interviews, career-oriented interviews, just asking me about myself, my trajectory, all of that. And one of those GK tests was insanely difficult. Like I got around I think I got 3 questions right out of 10. And I was like, all right, this is where I get eliminated. I was horrible. And I later ended up discussing it with the rest of us who had made it through when we actually reached the TV round. And we realized we'd all scored pretty much the same. It was built to be a tougher round to make sure that only people with a really niche high level of knowledge were the ones who got through. So even 30%, which is lower than anything I've ever scored on a test, was good enough to get me through that round and get all of us through that round. So you can get a sense of how tough it is to actually make it through all of these rounds and how difficult they make it to ensure that audiences get a good viewing as well. Along with knowing all of this GK, of course, we had all of these personal interviews to also ensure that we were, one, articulate, two, had interesting pointers in life to talk about, like things that would make, once again, for good viewing to the audience and maybe leave them with some value add about what the young people of India are thinking and doing today. This is also where I want to talk about the question of access and acknowledge the fact that my life is arranged in a way that makes it easy for me to, one, apply for these things, two, get through to them as well. Like I said, I've always grown up in environments that have encouraged me to collect random bits of knowledge and engage in hobbyist activities like quizzing, which is not something everyone has the freedom or the time to pursue. I live at home with my parents and I work a flexible work schedule, which means that I can, on a weekday, take an interview to go on Kaun Banega Crorepati as like a random moonshot. I also feel that the kind of upbringing I've had means that I am comfortable talking in interviews. I'm extremely fluent in English, which is of course not something required for the show. It's a Hindi-based show. Lekin that does help. And it makes me comfortable in environments such as this because I've sat through so many interviews of my life, job interviews, other interviews, etc. So I will say that another thing, right, having a presence online and having social media, I think a lot of people also thought that I was invited on the show because I have a presence online. Like I said, I did actually go through all of this process, but what my content creation gave me was something extra to talk about, which is not something other contestants have. Every contestant had something extra to talk about. You have someone with a patent and someone who was on Shark Tank because they have a successful startup. You have someone whose film has won an award. And I had my content creation to talk about as like a separate journey, which is also something that young people of India are doing today. So I do think it gave me talking points, and it also gave me a sense of confidence because I'm comfortable in front of camera. Like I said, once I actually made it onto the show, I realized that a lot of people get nervous when it comes to talking in front of cameras, but I'm literally doing it right now. So it was far easier for me to do that. All of this to say there's like a large variety of reasons why I was able to make it onto the show. It wouldn't have happened had I not applied. And that's where I think I want to draw that pointer as well. Like, life can give you a lot of privilege, but only you can develop like the audacity to actually start going for the things that are huge opportunities that you think you will probably never get through, and maybe you don't, right? But don't self-reject. I feel we should let other people do their jobs and reject us instead of us being that rejecter for ourselves. This is something I learned when I do my freelance writing. Like, status quo is that you've not written an article, you have an idea, you want to pitch to a publication. If you don't send it, your pitch is rejected and you'll never get to write that article. But if you pitch an editor, they can reject you, in which case you will be back at status quo, which is that you've not written an article. But there's a 50% chance that they might agree to actually publishing you and you get published, which is better than status quo. So if the worst case scenario is right now, why not go for it, right? I don't know where this became like a motivational TED talk. I had to stop the video for a second and be like, wait, like, what did I start out talking in this video about? Kaun Banega Crorepati ka process. So anyway, 10 days of seven rounds of interviews, etc., spread across 10 days. On the 31st of January is when I finally got my confirmation call letting me know that I was actually gonna go on Kaun Banega Crorepati. I feel like I have a recording of that exact moment where I got that call and I got to know, and then I cut it and I just recorded myself just to capture that feeling forever, in which case I will insert it right after this video. I just got a call from TVC. I am through to the final TV round, which means I've basically cleared all the interviews and all those really tough GK tests that they put us through. Someone very sweet called me. They were like, congratulations, you will get a lot of calls to coordinate travel, stay, to coordinate who will be your phone a friend friends. Um, but this means I'm basically through to be on TV. I will get to sit for fastest finger first. Hopefully, I make it through that and end up on the hot seat and get to actually play KBC. Once I knew I was gonna go on the show, and I was scheduled to fly out on the 9th, and my shooting was due to start on the 10th. I had 9 days to prep, so to say, for the show. There were three things that sorted my to do list into. One were things that were required from me for the show, and this was also quite a lot, right? They still had us fill out a lot of forms afterwards, talking about our interests, things that we would talk about on the show, etc. etc. They wanted our help with costuming. This is something that I do want to talk about because it was fun and a tedious process. Costuming on shows is very important, something I didn't know. Normally, I never pay attention to my clothes, like I just show up randomly. But over the past year, I feel like I've started doing a lot of video work, and I've realized that what you wear is important given the set, given the lighting, given the kind of appearance that you're trying to give to the whole show. We had dedicated people from the KBC team call us, tell us to send them pictures of outfits, give us a set of specifications that our outfits had to be, like outfit options had to be off. This included solid colors, bright colors, no white or black, and a bunch of other, like no mirrors, no shiny, and no ghungru sort of stuff that would make sounds, etc. I have a full page of specifications, super interesting. This was a lengthy process. In fact, I think I have another video from a time when I was getting really annoyed because a lot of my outfits just kept getting rejected. But I want to thank Nupur, who was there at from the KBC team and also there at the shoot, who eventually ended up choosing our clothes, and she really helped me pick up comfortable outfits that I enjoyed wearing. Today is the 4th of February. I'm due to fly into Mumbai on the 9th and start shooting around the 10th. And one thing I've been doing in the days leading up to the shooting is deciding my outfit for what I wear on the show. Something I think we don't think about is that televised shows have a lot of thought put into what people will wear, because you have to coordinate it basis a set of pointers that are sent to you by the production team, because they know what the color of the set is going to be, what the host is wearing, what color looks good on camera, etc. etc. So I have by now, I think, tried on like 20 outfits and sent them to someone who's coordinating what I'll wear. And she's rejecting all my options left, right and center. I had a really cute dress that I wanted to wear that was black, but black is, I think, the color of the set, so I'm not allowed to do that. And obviously I also knew that you can't wear whites on camera because light reflects off of them. But my one requirement from whatever I wear is that I want to wear something that has pockets. That is just my comfort mechanism. Put me in any outfit with pockets, I will be at my best. Like somehow I don't even need to put anything in the pocket, बस मुझे मेरे कपड़ों में pocket चाहिए. So I have this nice kurta, I have a couple of nice things that do have pockets in them. I picked jeans, so I always have pockets, dresses that have pockets. A lot of my wardrobe is also very print heavy because I'm a very Fab India wearing, jhumka wearing sort of that meme sort of girl. So you can't wear prints, like louder prints on camera also. So I've been picking out all my natural, more subdued sort of colors, solids, organic cottons, all of that. So let's see what gets picked. I also don't know what I'll be wearing on the show, but this is one option I just tried on, and then I wanted to document this, so I thought I would put this in the video. Number 2 was prep, and this is something that my father pushed me to do. Honestly, I was ready to treat this like I treat like quizzes. I just turn up and do my best. But my father told me that, okay, we should at least practice what you're going to go and do on that show. So we decided to practice the preliminary round of the show, which is fastest finger first. My father, he was also my phone a friend lifeline, like one of my options for my phone a friend lifeline. He is so incredibly knowledgeable, so incredibly supportive. He made me like a PowerPoint on which we could practice doing MCQs together and time myself. We watched a bunch of episodes of the show together to see what the average fastest finger first timing was. It's incredibly low. If you don't answer within like 3 seconds max, you are not gonna get in. So we practiced a lot. I think by the end of it, I was at least speedy in my thinking and then in like my clicking, so that was great. Number 3 on my to-do list was strategy, and this I think is an important part that you don't think of before you go on the show. But who you're going to have in your phone a friend, like who are the 3 people that you're going to have on a phone a friend? At what questions do you think it's okay to take your Dugnastra, which is like the 2x bonus prize money life sign that you have. What is the first life sign that you'll use? At what point is it okay to use a life sign? How sure will you be to take a risk, and how unsure will you be to take a life sign, and when do you quit? Like, these are questions that started coming up now that I have literally never. I feel like quizzers do sometimes have this vague fantasy of like, अगर हम KBC में जाएंगे तो हमारा phone a friend कौन होगा? But for me, this was actual reality as of now, and I had to answer these questions really for myself. My first call for phone a friend, my first option, of course, was my father, and I immediately told him, you'll be one of my phone a friends, and he was okay with that. The KBC team had told me that I was allowed to have one companion to fly out to Bombay with me. And I picked my mother, and I told my father that you stay at home and be on the laptop and be ready, because I will call you in phone a friend if I need your help. My father has incredible depth of knowledge about Indian politics, history, specifically of the 80s, 90s, 70s, 80s, 90s, because he was around at that point of time. I was not. And I'd seen that KBC asks a lot of questions specifically for those topics, so I wanted him to be there. My other two spots of phone a friend were still open. My first call was to my regular quizzing partner. His name is Swapnil. Swapnil, if you're watching this video, you will always be like my first option for my life sign. I called Swapnil. I told him like, I want you to be there. He agreed. My second call was to my friend Jyotish. Jyotish pointed out that the people I was calling, him and Swapnil, were both from the same fields of knowledge, and he asked me, on what rationale are you choosing people for phone a friend? And I was like, you're my smartest friend, so I want you to be there. And he told me, okay, let's strategize. You need to have 3 people who cover exclusive branches of knowledge, and who all within themselves cover a large amount of fields and topics that KBC questions come out of. So you have 3 people, each having strengths of their own, and all of their strengths together covering the vast body of knowledge that KBC asks questions from. Jyotish helped me strategize. I spoke with Swapnil again. Together we came up with 2 other people who I would pick to be my phone a friend life sign. I was very sure of 2 things. One, I wanted these people to actually be my friends, because I feel in moments of success, I want people I genuinely like to be around me, and I want to share my wins with people that I like and that I love. Number 2, these had to be people who, if they gave me the wrong answer on like 7 crores, like, I would not resent these people, because I am making the choice to have them be there. So it was like a very serious sort of decision making for me. Like, इन्होंने गलत आंसर भी दिया तो मैं इन्हें resent नहीं करूँगी. And I ended up picking 2 other people who each had their own, different strengths. One was Prithviraj. He's a quizzer, specifically incredibly good at India, Bollywood, Indian culture, stuff like that. Second was Calvin. Calvin is also a Delhi quizzer. He comes not from Delhi, but he lives here now, so I'm going to call him a Delhi quizzer. Calvin is someone I've teamed up a lot in general quizzes in Delhi as well. He's just good at a lot of things. Calvin is also the person I ended up calling, because the question that I got was from mythology history, and he did actually help me give the right answer. So thank you, Calvin, if you're watching this video. As I was doing all of this prep and strategy, I had a little light on. My owl lamp was on in the background, who's turned off now. I feel like that's all right. It's time for him to go to sleep. While all of this prep was going on, another thing was going on, which is the little intro video that KBC shoots of you. If you make it to the hot seat, they play like a 1-minute video of you. And I was in talks already with a person from the video team. Daksh, if you're watching this video, once again, thank you so much for not just creating such a beautiful video for me, but also all of your other help as well. Daksh and I spoke to each other. He did a couple of getting to know you calls and eventually came up with a video concept for me. All the contestants had someone call them and, strategize their video with them. And a video team came to my house over 2 days, that is the 6th and the 7th of February, where we shot at home, we shot outside. They wanted me to do a vox pop sort of thing at Connaught Place as well. That is also something that we did. I have a bunch of videos from all the days of photography and like videography shooting, so I'm going to share that somewhere here now. Okay, I'm just going to shoot like this. Hi, I just shot the first leg of my introduction video, the one you see in the beginning of KBC. If a contestant manages to reach the hot seat, they're gonna shoot it for everyone, and whoever manages to reach, like, they have theirs being played. We shot in a park in front of my house. It's where, I grew up playing. I used to be there literally in my entire childhood. I was in that park. and I had a good time. Like the photographer, the videographers who've come from KVC are great. The director, he's interviewing me on camera, so I have questions to respond to. He is great. I think we had a good chat. Like we spoke about me growing up, reading, writing, academics, college, journalism, content creation, and now my book and the other work that I do. I think we had a good chat. They're gonna sort of edit it all together into a life story of sorts. I never really thought one of these would be made of me, but it's cool. Yeah, we have another leg of shoot to be done today, and then tomorrow we're gonna go around Delhi, talking to people about KBC, and I'm excited for that because I love talking to people, but also like I'm a Delhi girl through and through, so just getting to go and like talk to people and see the city and like go to a bunch of monuments. It's a good time of the year, sunny, not that hot. I'm having fun, which I think is my ultimate takeaway from this whole thing. Like I never thought something like this would happen to me. It's insane to the highest level, and I just want to come out of it having fun. Like Dhanrashi would love it, but not important. Being in the hot seat would love it, but not the point of this whole thing. Like the goal is to have fun, and I am having fun till now, so I think I'm doing well. Today is day 2 of shooting my intro clip for KBC, और आज मैं parents के साथ interview कर रही हूँ. I think they are excited to be here also. Excited हो?
Of course, yes.
And I think they are planning to say a lot of things about me to the interviewers. तो देखते हैं कैसा आता है video. We are all really happy to just be able to do this also. All of this happened, and I was overwhelmed, quite honestly. On the 9th of February, my mother and I took a flight to Bombay. I have my flight to Bombay soon. I am going with my mother, and I really don't think this has sunk in for me, honestly. Like, this is not the kind of thing you ever accept कि वो ये असली में हो रहा है मेरे साथ. I think even there when I'm on set, तब जाके शायद मुझे लगेगा कि अच्छा यहाँ पहुँच गए हैं. One thing I'm desperately trying to instill in myself is that this is not something I will be stressed about, and that is why I thought I'd study a bit, but I am really not doing it. I'm treating this like I treat the other quizzes that I do. Show up, test your existing knowledge, and have fun, and like make friends and have a good time and apply brains and do logical stuff. Because if it becomes an exam, I'm gonna be anxious, I'm gonna be stressed, and it will just be not fun. And this being like that bonus experience of my life, I swear I'm gonna have fun, and I'm gonna not be worried about this. And when I think from that mindset, I'm so excited. Like, dude, I'm so excited. Okay, I have to go back now. I was carrying all my approved clothes, which were like 10 outfits that I had gotten approved from Nupur at the KBC team. My mother was also carrying her approved outfits with her because audience outfits need to get approved as well. By the time we made it to the hotel in Bombay, it was late at night and it was dinner time. And Atharva from the KBC team was there. Atharva, if you're watching this, you were so nice to all of us contestants, and thank you so much for all your help. He told us that the next day we would be leaving the hotel at 6:30, 7 a.m. in the morning after breakfast to go for the shoot. It would be at least a 12-hour shoot, if not more, is what he told us. Something that I learnt there that I didn't know happens on कौन बनेगा करोड़पति is that जो हम एपिसोड देखते हैं, जो अलग अलग दिन आते होते हैं, वो एक्चुअली एक ही दिन शूट किए जाते हैं. They shoot 2 episodes before lunch and they shoot 2 episodes after lunch. So that's 4 entire episodes that will be aired on 4 different days that are all being shot on one day. So the actual shooting schedule we'd gotten was that shooting would be spread across 3 days to ensure that all 10 of us had enough time at least to be able to play. Nathana had told us that we would be taking all our costumes with us the next day for the shoot. That was on the 10th of February. And that whole suitcase of clothes would be just sent to the costuming team, and we would get clothes from them कि इस episode में अब आप ये पहनो, इस episode में अब आप ये पहनो. And eventually whenever we were done with our turn on the hot seat, we would get our clothes back, and that's when we actually get to go home. उससे पहले हमारे कपड़े जो है वो स्टूडियो में ही पड़े रहेंगे. I hadn't carried a lot of extra clothes for myself. I was hoping I would get done in like the first couple of days of shoot because I wanted my clothes back basically. We are at the hotel where I just ate dinner. It was good, but I've had such a long day, all the travel, and I'm super tired. That is my mom, who has also been traveling this whole way with me. She is also tired, and we're gonna get to sleep because we're starting our day at 6 a.m. actually 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. It's gonna be a long day of shooting and then maybe even a few more days of shooting. So yeah, we need to get to bed ASAP. See you. Excited. Bye. The next day, 10th February, I was so stressed. I woke up extremely early, got ready super early, and then I was just chilling around. So I shot a bunch of videos that morning. I am in the hotel room in Bombay. It is 6 a.m. in the morning. I woke up at 5:15 because you have to leave for the shoot at 7 and we have to have breakfast before with everybody. I'm so excited. It's an early morning. I am raring to go. I was just thinking how one thing about being a creator is that all your successes are magnified, so you reach a large number of people. There have been times, when I was at fewer followers, which is not so long back, when I used to achieve something great or write for some really good publication, and I used to post it and like 50 people saw it. And I used to be like, oh, when I'm bigger, more people will see my successes. And the problem is now that I'm bigger, I feel that more people will also scrutinize when I don't do as well. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword on that one. And I think I've reached a point where I've realized that actual validation needs to come from myself, whether I'm at 50, whether I'm at 50,000. I need to look at myself and feel like I did a good job and I had a good time, and that's something only I can tell. मेरे आगे और लोग देख के क्या बोल रहे हैं तो लोगों का काम ही है कहना. Anyway, it's morning before the shoot. I decided to not study. This is what I used to do for exams also. Like I did what I had to do. थोड़ा सा ही किया है वैसे तो, but मस्ती करके आएंगे यार. I don't know how to feel. I'm excited, but yeah, I feel like I should be feeling other things that I'm not. I'm scared, happy. I'm not even happy. I'm just like, maybe excitement is happy. Yeah, weird. I'm just gonna go for breakfast now. आप नोटिस कर रहे होंगे मैं थोड़ा सा हिल गई हूँ. मेरी लाइट बंद हो गई, उसका चार्ज ही ख़त्म हो गया, एंड इट्स गेटिंग टू बी इवनिंग नाउ. लाइटिंग वॉज बैड, सो आई हैड टू वेट फॉर इट टू चार्ज, एंड नाउ आई हैव कम अगेन टू शूट. मैं भूल ही गई हूँ मैं क्या बात कर रही थी. लाइक एज पर माई नोट्स, आई एम नाउ द मॉर्निंग ऑफ द शूट. So on the morning of the shoot, we all had breakfast, and then all of us contestants who had become friends with each other the night before and that morning as well, like we had spoken, we had shared our experiences, how we made it on the show, all of that. तो हमने सबने साथ में एक बस ली to go to Film City, which is where the shooting location was. That's where the set of KBC is. And then we went there and we saw the table and the KBC set, all of it. It was great. Then they took us to separate dressing rooms for girls and guys. All of us women, which included female contestants and female companions, we were taken there for hair and makeup, and then we were given the outfits that we were supposed to wear for the first episode of shooting. This is my final look. We just did my hair and makeup. Hair kuch zyada nahi kiya, makeup is a little more than what I'm used to, but and thankfully we chose like my most comfortable outfit, so I am at least gonna be comfortable if nothing else, which is a good start. Now I have to go. They're going to take us to practice fastest finger first. So I'm going to go and hope I do a good job. Good luck to me. The first episode shoot, I would say, started around 10:30 in the morning. And we had audiences come in, and the audience is really nice, by the way. They interact with you, they say hi, and they ask you where you're from and all of that. So that was nice. And then they cheer, they actually clap. It's a live studio audience, they're actually there, and really sweet people. The first episode, I was really quick on fastest finger first. Like when I was giving the answer, I could feel that I was fast, but this other guy, Priyanshu, who's from IT Ready, really sweet kid, was even faster. He was like 2 seconds and some milliseconds, and I was like 3 seconds and some milliseconds. I think it was like a few milliseconds gap between us, so he got through. He played the first episode. He was the first contestant to get in. It was really nice to have someone else go up first. Honestly, I don't have a problem doing things first when it comes to a group, but when someone else does it, you know what to expect. Thank you, Priyanshu, for getting in first and showing us how it's done. After the episode, Priyanshu's dad came to me and he was sitting right behind me and he was like, बेटा आप इतना तेज करे थे, मुझे लगा आपका हो जाएगा. And I was like, अंकल आपके बेटे का हो गया. He was even faster. And he told me, बेटा मुझे ना बहुत सेंस आ रहा है कि आपका भी आज हो ही जाएगा. Priyanshu's dad was right क्योंकि मेरा भी eventually उसी दिन हो ही गया. But we'll come to that when we come to that. Right after Priyanshu's episode was shot, we commenced the second episode wherein Sai Prithvi got in. Sai, if you're watching this video, you also did so incredibly well. By that time, when the episode ended, it was 3 p.m. We all had lunch and I was tired, all right? Like, beginning of the day, I was nervous, I was anxious, all of that. By this time, I was like a little annoyed because I was like, ये सब लोग जा रहे हैं हॉट सीट पे, मुझे भी जाने का मन है. थोड़ा सा मेकअप भी लगा हुआ था, अच्छे से ही किया था उन्होंने, बट आई एम नॉट यूज टू मेकअप, सो आई वॉज ऑल्सो गेटिंग अनॉयड एंड माई लिप्स वर गेटिंग ड्राई बिकॉज ऑफ द लिपस्टिक. एंड आई वॉज लाइक, आई डोंट थिंक आई कैन टेक इट अनदर डे, सो आई नीड टू गो ऑन दैट हॉट सीट नाउ. आई वॉज टेलिंग माई सेल्फ कि अब तो मैं नर्वस भी नहीं थी क्योंकि मैं अनॉयड ही ज़्यादा हो रही थी. आई वॉज अनॉयड विद माई सेल्फ. आई वॉज लाइक, यू आर फास्ट, यू आर स्मार्ट, you've practiced, go on the hot seat, like win fastest finger and go on the hot seat. What are you waiting for? During the break that came after Sai Prithvi's episode, we had lunch and then the reality team, which is also the team that shot our participant intro video in the beginning, they told us that they wanted to shoot some more promos. So I had a change of outfit and then went to shoot that. I just got done with one episode. I did not make it, but two people did, and one of them is like a friend and acquaintance. The other one was someone I just met yesterday. मैं व्लॉग कर रही हूँ अपना, आप करो आई एम लिसनिंग टू यू. And we are going to shoot another episode. We just broke for lunch, which is a longer break. So in the middle, they want me to do some reality shoot, which is like a continuation of the video that we already shot. But yeah, like this will happen. Then the next episode will also shoot today. They will air on separate days, but they are shot on the same day, which is something new I learned. So yeah, like, I hope I make it on this episode. Like second episode में तो कर ही सकते हैं, देखते हैं. I'm also gonna wear my mom's shirt in this episode, which I think is lucky for me. So that video is prophetic. I knew मुझे मेरी मम्मी की शर्ट मिलने वाली है पहनने के लिए अगले एपिसोड के लिए, and I could feel it in myself that I think I'm gonna make it to the hot seat. Maybe it was like confidence. Maybe it was, like I said, that sense of annoyance. Maybe it was Priyanshu's dad also saying it to me, which was a sign of the universe. Then this shirt that I was gonna wear, also a sign from the universe. But when I wore that, I had a feeling कि यार अब मेरा हो जाएगा. And I am not a superstitious person generally, but when you are on कौन बनेगा करोड़पति, I feel like in a situation like that, you become a superstitious person. And when we entered the set and we sat on our fastest finger first spots, मेरी पीछे एक लेडी बैठी थी बहुत sweet, जिन्होंने मुझे hi बोला. And I was like, hi. And she was like, what is your name? Where are you from? So I asked her the same questions back. She told me she's from Panipat. No, she told me she's from Sonipat. And I told her, oh, I have family in Panipat because I do have a lot of family in Haryana and Punjab wale areas. And she was like, oh, wow, we suddenly had like this connection. And then she told me, beta, आप इतने sweet हो, मुझे लग रहा है आपका अभी हो जाएगा. So these were like 3 separate signs from the universe telling me that I was going to make it to the hot seat. And then my fastest finger first question comes, and it's a literature question. It's a question about books. Options आने से पहले मुझे थोड़ा लगने लग गया था कि अब मेरा हो जाएगा, बिकॉज आई नो आई एम गुड एट बुक्स, आई एम गुड एट नोइंग अबाउट बुक्स. Thankfully, I was fast and I answered correctly and I made it to the hot seat. Something you don't know about KBC is that the second after fastest finger first, when the contestant walks to the hot seat and then they sit, there's like a 5 to 10 minute break where they give you water, they ask you if you want to go to the bathroom, and then they coach you a little bit because they know that people who come on the show might not be camera friendly and might be shy or extremely nervous about speaking in front of such a large audience. So they do tell you that these are moments from your journey that you can speak about on the show, and this is the kind of conversation that you can have, etc. So I do have a lot of people in my DMs asking me, oh, like, is what you say scripted? And I wouldn't say it's scripted. Like, it's literally me choosing what to say on the spot, but there are nudges from the team as to things that would make for good things to say on TV. I do want to thank Srinidhi from the KBC team. Srinidhi, agar aap ye dekh rahe ho, thank you so much for all your help with my speaking, with my profile, with what kind of things to talk about. You were so incredibly helpful. Thank you. Episode तो खैर आपने देख ही दिया है, तो आपको पता ही है how I did and how much I won. For anyone watching this video who hasn't watched my episode, I won 12.5 lakhs along with some like bonus here and there and like the hampers and all of that. I'm incredibly happy about my performance. I think I did very well. I also really liked being able to quit, because when you reach 12.5 lakhs, you've proven that you're smart. I've already answered a majority of the questions that I could have faced on that show, and I've done well, which is why I've reached that far. मैं smart हूँ ये मैंने prove कर दिया. अब मुझे ये prove करना है कि मैं stupid नहीं हूँ. And at that point of time, I wasn't 100% sure about my answer. I am really, really glad I got a question that I could work out on the spot, because anyone who's quizzed with me knows that my body of static knowledge is actually less compared to a lot of quizzers. मुझे जो चीज़ें आती हैं, they might be numerically less, but my ability of working out answers, and I'll say this myself, right, is one of the best when it comes to quizzers today. Give me a question that has logical clues that will take you in the right direction, and I will most probably be able to reach the answer from that. That is exactly what happened on the show. I had a question I didn't know heads or tails of. I didn't know what half the words in that question meant. I still was able to work it out and get to the right direction. And I'm so proud of myself for doing that in such a high stress environment. Eventually, I knew, like when I saw the question, I knew I would quit, because there is no way I was taking a risk and I genuinely didn't know the answer. But I'm glad that my logical ability was still performing at that point of time and I was able to do what I did. I was so happy when I quit. Like when I went backstage and my mom came and we hugged each other and she congratulated me. She said, "You've done so well." And I said, "You know what? I feel that way too." And it doesn't get better than that. I'll say this honestly. Like when you know you've done well, that is all the validation that you need. I have a couple of videos I took right post my episode when I knew what I'd won, and I'd just come backstage and I recorded it. I was on the hot seat just now and I won 12.5 lakhs. I quit after that. I had no more lifelines. I feel great. Like I'm feeling really happy, and I answered really well, I think. And even the questions that I took lifelines on or like quit on eventually, I knew the answer. Like my gut instinct was pointing me towards the correct answer, but I didn't want to risk it. So I just feel like my knowledge test came out positive. Like there's something in here. Mama, आपको कैसा लग रहा है? Mama was also on TV and we got to meet Amitabh Bachchan and hang out with him.
Very happy.
I got him to
Very
see.
proud.
Thank you. I'm quite happy. यार मेरे को तो successfully feel हो रहा है. We're in the dressing room. We're gonna leave. Get tomorrow in Bombay to hang out, my mom and I, because tomorrow was also a shooting day, but I managed to make it on the first day, so I'm free and I'll enjoy myself. And then I have one from the night, because I reached back to the hotel at 11 in the night. It's 12:14 in the night and I just got back to the hotel. After my episode, the episode also had another contestant. After that, we had to do a lot of shoots, formalities, other stuff. Took a lot of time and I'm so tired. Like I'm this away from falling asleep, but I'm also feeling so fulfilled. I think I had a good time, and end of the day, very cliche, but end of the day, I think that is what matters. I think it's also like a effort to reward scenario. Like you can earn more in a couple of hours than you could ever make, than you'd make in a year, maybe something like that, right? And I think it was a good decision to not prep too much and to just like come and be chill about it, because I don't think preparation could have even helped with the kind of questions that I got. My phone a friend Calvin did great. My mom has been doing great, being here, just being supportive, handling a lot of things. मैं तो बहुत ही खुश हूँ. मुझे तो अच्छा ही लग रहा है honestly. Like I got to chat so much, I got to speak, I got to share, talk about my work. Yeah, I think I'll need a few days to soak it in. I don't even know what to say right now, but I'm happy. I'm so tired, but I'm tired, happy. Happy, tired. More on this later. I think I'll do a proper breakdown of exactly what happened today, because these have been a haphazard series of video notes to myself. Yeah, good job, me. The next day, my mom and we were allowed out of the hotel. Oh, I forgot to mention this, but when we went to the hotel the first time upon landing in Bombay, they told us you're not allowed outside because contestants go. Sometimes they can get late for shooting, dizzy ho jata hai, blah blah blah. It was like Big Boss, like all contestants stay in this one house. But because I'd made it to the show on my first day of shoot itself, the second day my mom and I were allowed out, so we went shopping. We had a little bit to eat. And our flight back was scheduled for the 12th. So I shot on the 10th, 11th, we chilled, and my flight back was on the 12th. We also got to know that due to some unforeseen circumstances, some of the shooting for the other episodes of other contestants would be delayed, but we would probably be sticking to the airing schedule that had been decided, which is what eventually happened. Like, our episodes aired as normal. And I do think like this whole process gave me a lot of insight into what goes into the making of the show, from lighting and sound to things like contestant management. Like, I had a manager, like there was a person whose job was to manage me, and I'm so sorry to them because I am not an easy person to manage. But this whole exposure to what it takes to keep a show that's been running for 25 years stay one of the top performing shows in the country, it was incredible. This video will not be complete if I don't talk about Amitabh Bachchan ji. He was so sweet to me. You don't see on camera a lot of the other interactions that happen between the contestant and the host, but he will constantly ask you if you're comfortable. He will constantly ask you if you're all right. He will offer you water. There'll be inside jokes, banter, and he has so much charisma and hold over the audience. He's an incredible host, very, very good speaker. And I've heard people say like aura hota hai stars ka before. I've never felt aura before, but I feel like I felt it there. शूटिंग करते करते भी रात हो गई है. बट एनी वे, ऑन द 12th माई मॉम एंड आई फ्लू बैक. हम होटल से जा रहे हैं मम्मा और मैं. इट्स अर्ली मॉर्निंग ऑन द, आज डेट के 12th February, एंड वी आर टेकिंग अ फ्लाइट बैक. And my mom hasn't pressed the lift button, so I am going to do it. And yeah, बहुत अच्छा एक्सपीरियंस था. तो मुझे तो पता भी नहीं है मैं क्या बोलूँ ऐसे डॉक्यूमेंटेशन. आई विश दैट एनीवन हूज वाचिंग दिस कुड फील व्हाट आई एम फीलिंग, बिकॉज आई फील satisfied. I did well. It's great. I still have, by the way, the check that they gave. They give 2 checks on the show. You don't know this. And these are like not real checks, so you can't get them encashed. But they do have Amitabh Bachchan's autograph because he signs them live in front of you. I don't think that shot came out that well. Let me try again. Yeah, anyway, that is what I have as of now. The money will be transferred to us in a few months is what they've told us. They've taken our bank details. We will get it when we get it. I have a feeling कि बहुत ज़्यादा लंबी वीडियो बनने वाली है, which was not the plan. I had felt that I would just come and quickly talk about what happened. But this was once in a lifetime for me, not an experience I will forget. An experience that has already yielded so much, and even more in terms of confidence, in terms of visibility. The kinds of people I've been able to speak to in the last week since my episode has aired, people who found me online, people who've offered me more opportunities, more work, people who know that I'm now comfortable on camera and they're giving me camera facing work, which is something I've always wanted to do. It's great, right? And it's yet another step of my very, very confused and diverse career journey and life journey. I feel like we are taught बचपन से कि आपका एक करियर होना चाहिए, and it's incredible to stick to one field with dedication and do that for your whole life. And I do see that point of view, and some people need to do that. Engineers, scientists, doctors. Me, I can't, right? I am not the kind of person who can stick to one job and only do one kind of work, one kind of thing for the rest of my life. I need to use my full brain all like across a bunch of different opportunities and work and hobbies, etc. This was yet another thing that somehow made sense for me to do at this point of time in life. And we'll see where it takes me. It was it's something I'll hold on to forever. Like that feeling of satisfaction when I quit, when I gave the right answer, quit, and went backstage and hugged my mom. It's, yeah, like I wish I could describe it. And yeah, this is it, I think. Like this is the process, this is what happened. And I hope you all also enjoyed watching the episode. I watched the episode. I thought it would be cringy क्योंकि मुझे अपनी आवाज़ सुनना अच्छा नहीं लगता. But it was alright. Like I'm a fun girly. I liked watching myself on TV. I look good, bro, and I answered well. And I was only a tiny bit annoying. And in real life, I'm a lot more annoying. So good on the editors of the show for making me look and like sound that great. Thank you to everyone I feel who was a part of this journey. Srinadi, Atharva, Shahrukh, Nupur, Daksh, Shovik, all the videographers who shot at home with me and my family, everyone there on set. The guy who did my makeup, whose name I don't remember, but मैंने उनको कह दिया था कि मुझे मेकअप करना अच्छा नहीं लगता, तो उसने मेरा बहुत ही कम किया था, and that was so sweet of him. Everyone else who also supported this whole journey. This sounds like an Oscar-winning speech for some reason. Just thank you, right? Like I'm overwhelmed with gratitude. I'm allowed to thank people. I don't understand why I'm defending myself thanking people. बट हाँ यार, मतलब बहुत ही बढ़िया था. क्या ही बोलूँ मैं तो 1-2 हफ्ते से ऐसे आफ्टर ग्लो में बास कर रही हूँ. अभी भी मैं करती ही रहूँगी. आई एम जस्ट गोना एंड दिस वीडियो नाउ. आई फील लाइक देयर इज नथिंग मोर टू से. बाय.